Alright, so we're going to see how to set up and use the Monomulator app for your APC40. Alright, so once you downloaded it from the track team website, just go to the folder and just grab this Monomulator APC40 and just double click it. You're going to want to open it up with Max MSP or Max Runtime, whichever one you have on there. And when you open it up, there's a lot of drop down menus. I'll just tell you that off the bat. So it takes a little bit to set up, but the features are definitely well worth it. All right, a lot of new added stuff to this release. So to set this up, you're going to need an inner application bus like MIDI yoke, the IAC bus with that comes with OS 10, and you're going to want to have that set up. All right, so I'm just going to open up Live's preferences so you can see how I have this set up. All right, so this top thing right here, you're going to want to choose your APC40. All right, so for instance, this is MIDI coming out of the APC40 going into the max patch, and this is it going out of the max patch back into the APC40. All right, so you're definitely going to want to choose your APC40 for that. Now, I have my IAC bus set up to have this right here. You see this APC emulator from live and APC emulator to live. You can name whatever you want. I just think it's easier for clarity purposes to just name these things according to their function. So that's what I have set up there. So in this drop down, you're going to want to pick the same as your input here. So for instance here, I'm going to pick APC40 to live. All right, and notice that I have the same thing here, APC40 MU2 live. And here I have APC40 emulator from live, because that's going from live or output of live back into the max patch. All right, so APC40 from live. All right, and that'll take care of all the standard APC40 features. You just kind of have to set up this mediator that kind of like deals with the APC40 and spits it back into the APC40 and then to live. Cool, whatever. So that's how you set up that. Now I'm gonna pick my APC40 from here, and when it loads up, you should see the ring, rectangle, whatever you want to call it. And you could see that, it just works a standard way. All right. So that's that. So that's that. There's no monom stuff going on or anything else right now. All that's going on right now is that we're using the max patch and the APC40 to deal with live. All right. So that's that. Now, there's also a couple other features I built in. You'll notice that we have the Monomulator stuff down here, the monom stuff. All right. So here you set your prefix. I'm using 40H. I'm going to be using a program called Molar. Awesome program. Definitely check it out. It's funny, a lot of features that a lot of people are asking for in live. Or with the APC40, something like that, there's a mono map that does it for you. So just start digging. There's some really cool stuff out there. So definitely check out the mono apps. All right, so this is your port. These are the OS ports. All right, these are the standard mono ports. You could change them if you need to. All right, but usually they use 8000 and 880. All right, so that's there. One thing I'll mention though is that when you do type in the OS prefix, you have to hit enter. All right, so you hit enter and that'll trigger, whatever it's got to do. Now that's the APC40 and the monom setup. All right, and the cool thing now is we could switch between the two. That was like a big feature request, and it's kind of necessary to do. To switch between the APC40 grid mode and the mono. So we'll see how to do that in a little bit. All right, but I've also added something with MIDI notes. All right, so you could actually play MIDI notes on the grid. All right, it spans all octaves, different velocities. We'll talk more about that later. All right, so that's that. So I have it MIDI notes port, right, from Max MSP1, and then if you look in live, I have input from Max MSP1. All right. And I have it both. remote and keyboard or whatever track. It doesn't matter. All right, so that's your keyboard. All right, and again, we'll talk about that a little bit. So that's notes out port. And then I have a sliders set up, so we could use the buttons as sliders, which is really cool for synced effects, stuff like that. If you want to do like just put in some synced effects like delays, I don't know, that kind of stuff. So then I have that set up on Maximus P port 2. All right. Again, it doesn't matter what actual IAC port you're using. It doesn't really matter at all if you use a MIDI yoke. Just pick some MIDI yoke stuff that will, I don't know, that'll do the same thing. All right. These don't really matter. These don't matter. Point is, you have to have one. You need two separate ones. All right. So this one is MIDI 2. So this would be like, say, IAC bus 1. All right. And this one is from. So this would be IAC bus 2. So you need two buses to do this, or else you get feedback. All right. And they have to be different. All right. Now, with the sliders, this is where you pick what CCs the sliders are sending out. All right, that's right here. Okay, this is the slider channel, so it'll send out on this channel. All right, I just leave them default 1 through 8 on channel 11. That's fine. I don't really have anything else going on channel 11, so that should work for me. Now, this right here sets the slider time, so you could, instead of just like hitting a button and slider jumping all the way up to that position, this will let you kind of like glide over there. All right, so you might want to get into that. I personally don't use it too much, but some of you guys might. All right, so that is basically setting this thing up. Now, the cool thing is once you set it up, it should keep these as default. Like for instance, next time you open it, all these things will be set up the way you set them up here. So one last thing I'll mention is to watch out for MIDI feedback. All right, I have all the outputs turned off, so just be careful with that. You don't want to get any MIDI feedback.